Welcome again to Troy's Barbecue. This is episode number 3 or part 3. This time we're going to be talking about jerk pork, and we're going to be talking about Troy's special barbecue pork. Not only will we be talking about them, but I'm going to show you all the secrets, all of Troy's secret in making the absolute best jerk pork and making the best in barbecue pork. I read your mind. Yes, you're absolutely correct. It was delicious. This is Troy's barbecue pork with Jack Daniels as the sauce. Isn't it delicious? It was really, really, really good. And later, I'm going to show you exactly how he did it. But first, we've got to make the fire. We need to make the fire in the barbecue, and we need to do that now because it's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes before the coals are just perfect. So you want to do the fire as soon as possible, get it going.
Gas grill, you gotta treat it, you gotta clean all the ports.
For the jerk pork, of course, Troy uses the jerk seasoning that you see here, and he uses an entire bottle because he's going to be doing 2 pieces of jerk pork. And then, of course, he uses olive oil, as you see, and mix the olive oil in with the jerk seasoning. There's a reason for that, because it'll actually stick to the meat and it'll enhance the flavor. That's my theory. You're going to have to ask Troy as to why he did that. Of course, he added a little bit of salt for flavor. Now, this is very important. Please take note that this is the boneless pork rib ends. Did you see the label? Pause and go back, because this is the pork that you're going to be using. He washes it very carefully, and of course he dries it, taking all the water off. And then he puts it in a bag, plastic bag. Now, this is the jerk pork. In with the plastic bag, with the pork rather, in the plastic bag, he'll add the jerk seasoning, and he will really massage it well. He wants the seasoning to get into every nook and cranny, and he also wants the seasoning to cover every single square centimeter of the pork. So he mixes it well. The other barbecue pork will be the Jack Daniels with honey teriyaki sauce. And this you buy in the store in a bag, just like that. Now, in Troy's case, what he'll do, the mixture is already there. There's nothing for you to do. And trust me, it is great. In Troy's case, all he does, of course, is to add the well-washed and dried pork in with the sauce. And again, once again, notice, he's massaging the pork well, making sure that all of the sauce gets into every bit of that pork. That's really important. Now that the coals are ready, and notice that the coals are at the corner of the grill, okay? He'll place the seasoned pork on top of the coals right there, because he's searing the pork. He's making sure that both sides are seared properly. That's important. Keep the juices in the pork. So he places the pork right over the hot coals. Troy is simply searing it up, as he said. The chicken, you don't need to do that because the chicken has got a skin on it. This is the pork will be done in about an hour and a half, and the chicken about 3 hours to perfection. By the way, if it's a good idea if you use that Jack Daniel's barbecue teriyaki honey barbecue sauce, do it the night before, keep it in the refrigerator so the juices are marinating in there. Okay, so he sears both sides of the pork, and we're talking not only the Jack Daniel's, but we're also talking the jerk pork. Both sides are seared. And then, once they're seared, then you notice that he puts it away from the flames. Here, he's doing the same thing with the pork, the other pork, simply searing it. The important thing to remember is that... Okay, so because it's a sugar base, you need to watch it, right? It burns fast. That's it.
A little further off the heat.
A little further off the heat.
Let it sear a little bit slower.
I got you. It's a good idea, by the way, that to keep an eye on your roast pork or barbecue pork while you're searing them. The other thing you need to know is because the teriyaki, the Jack Daniel's teriyaki is honey-based, you don't have to go directly over the coals because it'll sear a lot faster. It'll burn a lot faster because of the honey. So it's just off the coals. But the principle is the same. He's still searing both sides. Notice that? Mm-hmm. Wow. That's perfection, isn't it?
Oh yeah. As far as it being seared, oh yes.
Now the pork is placed away from the coals when he's finished. Not only did he do that with the jerk pork, but he's also doing with the Jack Daniel's honey teriyaki honey pork. Of course, he's simply pouring the sauce over the already seared pork. And now, of course, the thing to do is to put the lid on. Do not open it. Resist the temptation. And 1.5 hours later, you'll have the perfect pork.